Hi, this is Jan Carrozza. I'm here today with Janet Gervers, and her company is Jag Media. What she's known for is her core business of website development, and she does it from a more holistic point of view than the average webmaster. But today we're going to talk about her vision board workshop leadership. And she's got one coming up Wednesday, June 21st from 11 to 12:30. So we're going to talk about that today. And let me just kick it off with a question because I think people need to think about why would you want to do a vision board workshop? And the answer is a lot of people don't take the time to sit back, focus, into getting more clarity in their business. And to be able to also, you can reduce your stress during this. And as we come up on this second part of the year, people are kind of taking the opportunity to sit back and go, okay, we need to take a look at the next 6 months and maybe kind of re-envision what we want to do with our business. So welcome, Janet. This
Hi,
is
Jan. Thank you for having me as a
yeah.
guest on your show. I'm delighted to be here. And you so well said. You just said, so this is the thing. As a website and branding designer, I'm creating visuals for my clients. However, when I host a vision board, it's also called a dream board workshop, this gives my clients the opportunity to do something creative. First, it's a creative exercise that I guide people in, but also it's what you said, it is self-care. This is where you are taking time for yourself. What are your goals? What are your vision? And at first, before I even started doing these, I thought, wow, self-care seems kind of selfish, doesn't it? But then after I started studying this more and getting into it, I realized, wow, a lot of people, especially women, are always doing all these different things. Oftentimes it might be for their partner, their kids, friends, community groups, and all these other things, and they put themselves last.
Right.
And it is really important to take that time and care for yourself. And there are many people, or actually most people who have taken my workshop will say, oh, yeah, I wouldn't have done this if it weren't for you holding this workshop. And it's just having that space for it first, that's really the first part of it.
What was your inspiration? I do get the impression that when you do websites for people, you aren't the average bear that's doing these. You're kind of going deeper into their business, what their purpose is. Is that what led you into the vision board program?
Well, thanks for saying that. It's kind of multiple things. I mean, when I'm creating a website for a client, my process is different from other people's because I really take the time to get to know my client. What are your goals and your vision, long term and short term? I take the time to get to know who I'm creating a website for. And it's a very collaborative kind of experience. So my client is a part of it the whole time. And once the website is launched, they already know what it's going to look like. And they know that it looks like them. I had a recent client who is a coach. Her name is Sherry. She's in Oregon. And she was like, Janet, you get me. And when people come to my website, they're like, Sherry, that is you. So that's something that I really just love, hearing that kind of feedback from my clients, knowing that it is the essence of them. But bringing it back to your question about vision boards, it's another way to, yes, to explore your goals and vision. That's one sort of inspiration, but also just from years ago when I first heard about vision boards, I saw this movie, The Secret. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but I saw it, and there are all these, I guess you would say, experts. A lot of them are coaches and big in certain fields. And I saw a guy, John Asaraf, hopefully I'm saying his last name right. He talked about his vision boards, and he said, oh yeah, I went back to this vision board I created 5 years and looked at this picture of a house and it's the exact house that I bought. And I'm like, wow, that's really
Wow.
powerful. So there
Yeah.
was that combined with when I had a business coach from the past, had all of us create a vision board. And she brought in like 1 million magazines. Remember those things, magazines, when
Oh
everybody used
yeah.
to have those?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was really a great way, me being a visual person, but everybody in there was in different fields. And I loved putting it together, and I could tell other people liked it. And I started doing my own vision boards as well. And over time, I just started learning more on my own. And I led workshops in person initially, and then switched over to the online format
So
a
what
few
is
years
your
back.
approach? How do you come to put together the vision board workshop? H- what what's your perspective when you kind of put this together?
Thanks. Yeah, so my perspective first is that I'm guiding people and I'm not telling them what to do. I am giving them um, options, if you will.
Uh-huh.
And we start out in the beginning after a few minutes of saying hi and getting to know who the other people are in the workshop so we
Mm.
feel comfortable with each other. We'll start things with the visualization exercise, and it's really just a way to get people kind of in the mood, setting the stage for it.
Grounded.
You
Yeah.
are going, inside yourself and really putting a focus on what you're doing. And what I do in the 90-minute workshop, which goes by really quickly, I have it divided into modules that are either 15 or 20 minutes. So in the first part,
Okay.
just to share with you, for instance, I'd be like, it's all about finding images that are ones that you relate to and have meaning to you. And I provide images that people who take my workshop have access to in advance that they can download for free. And it just gets the the creative juices flowing, and people start thinking about it even before the workshop
Mm.
happens. So that's something that people can start with. I also let them know about different methods they can use to create vision boards, of which there are 3 of them. First one is the traditional way, where you're cutting out pictures from magazines, maybe travel brochures, what have you, and you are pasting them down onto a piece of poster board, cardboard, or whatever you have
Uh-huh.
that's available. That's the first way. The second way is the digital way, and that's using your favorite app that you are already comfortable with. You already know how to use it. And I say that because you want to focus on what your vision is. You don't want to be figuring out, okay, how do I do this? So some
What's an
people,
what's an example of one of those apps?
yes, a lot of people are using Canva these days.
Oh, okay.
So that's one that I really like. I've used that for some of my vision boards too, though I really like their traditional method. The tactile sense of
Hmm.
it is fun. So a lot of people are using that. I've had people use PowerPoint, Google
Mm,
Slides,
okay.
even Microsoft Word. So it's like whatever works for you, that's the thing to do. So again, it's like giving people options and guidance. There isn't just, only one way to do it. And then the third way is the hybrid, where you might, print out image downloads or ones that you find on your own, and then you paste those onto a piece of poster board. So all of those methods work effectively for people. And it's really just in the last year that more people are using apps to create their vision board.
Hmm. Well, that's interesting. So, when you're doing this, are you asking them to kind of look into their goals and do you have an example of some of that goal setting that might be going on during the vision board session?
Sure. Yeah. One of the things that I talk about, Jan, are the 5 pillars.
Mm.
They're the 5 pillars of life and, important areas. So, for example, self-care, that to me is the absolute biggest one. That's really
Yeah.
important. So that's one of them. Another one is career, whether you work for someone, you have your own business, maybe you're retired, but that's a part of it too. Relationships are also important. What are your relationships like with your, spouse, partner, friends, family, co-workers, clients, etc. So thinking about, what are those relationships and where are they going to go? Where do you want them
Oh,
to go?
yeah. So
Because
it
they're
isn't
all
just about business.
right, right. It's not just about business. However, you can, when you create your vision board, it can, help you to flourish in both life and business. And I just like to bring up, since you mentioned the business part of it, I was featured in an episode of Faster Class TV.
Yeah.
Uh, I was talking about vision boards, how you can flourish in life and in business by creating your vision. So that was it's a 2-minute masterclass. So that's something that I was featured in. That's in YouTube, and I'm happy to give you the link if you'd
Oh,
like that. So that's
absolutely. We'll
yeah,
put that in the show notes with other ways to contact
great,
you. Yeah.
great.
So tell me about some of the success stories that have come out of this. I've seen a lot of wonderful testimonials.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. Well, one of them is from a workshop a few years ago, a photographer who is in West Hollywood, your old stomping
Yeah.
grounds, I understand. And yeah, she said that she created the vision board and it has manifested, some really great things in her life that she had on the vision board. Some of it was practical, like more photography equipment. Another thing was a car. And so that I'm really just like glad to hear that. And I have some more if it's okay for me
Oh,
to
please.
put
Yes,
the
please
screen
do.
sharing on.
And I did
Okay.
notice one of them that really spoke to me, which was a gal that says, I've had these vision board around and it just kind of languished and I really wasn't doing anything with it, but this really spurred me to get it together. And I really came out with something way beyond what I expected for my dreams. So it's really nice to see when people sit down and can focus, that they can come out with a better idea of what they want to get accomplished. Like the guy who envisioned his house. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. It really is valuable in terms of gaining that instant focus as well as gaining clarity on your dreams and your vision. And right now, being the middle of the year, it's like, okay, where do I want the rest of my year to go?
Correct.
So that's a really important, that's the focus of the one in June. And I do lead these 3 times a year. The next one will be in October. So that'll be about finishing your year strong. And then there's one in January, which is about starting your year powerfully. So this is my vision board workshop page, as you can see here, and a
Mm-hmm.
few testimonials from some really amazing women who have taken my workshop. And the left on the red is Katarina Rando. She is an amazing business coach, happens to be my coach. And she said that it's a great, it's a wonderful opportunity to set aside some time to be thinking about what you want to create in your life. And it does a great job of holding space for us to get clear, get focused, and start dreaming. And that's the whole thing. It's the process is starting to dream and being able to see things in a visual and powerful way. And I know there are lots of different ways for setting goals, and you can combine them if you like with those methods. One is written. I've done that. It's great. The thing is about a vision board is that you can look at it. I have mine to my left on my desk. You can look at it every day. And the more you look at it, the more powerful it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Because did you know that the mind processes images 60,000 times faster than any other kind of data? That is something that research shows. And I mean, just think about it. When we're all on, social media, looking at images on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, and videos, those are the things that really stick in our minds more than what
Right.
anything else. And just this other testimonial here on the right from Gretchen. She says, without the nudge, my 2-year-old vision board would have stayed up another year. Deciding to attend the 1.5-hour workshop created the time and space to make a wonderful new vision for the next chapter. I
Isn't that
wouldn't have made
neat?
the time
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really
And
like
then,
that one
yeah,
because we all are, we we kind of live our life in chapters where it's like, wait a minute, I can change things up a bit. There's too much of the same old. I'm not getting the results I want, or I'm not getting the goals I want. This is a chance to kind of work with you and the others in the group to kind of um, reimagine what that future could look like. I really like
Reimagine,
that.
that's a great and powerful word. That's really what it's all about. And the thing that these three wonderful women have in common is that they are all very busy women and they are highly, highly successful in what they do. So if someone might be thinking, oh, I don't need a vision board, I've got it, I'm already successful, that's probably someone who would benefit from taking this course.
Right.
It's really not a course is what I would call it. I call it a play shop really, because you're
Well,
having fun, and I encourage people to have fun and feel like you're playing, not working.
it's also an experience because when you sit down and you plan by yourself, there's distractions, right? You're thinking about your to-do list, you're thinking about errands you've got to run. It's really hard. And when you set aside time and you specifically know I'm going to be doing this and I'm doing it with other people, that really gets more juices going, I think, than if you're just like, oh, gee, I'm looking at this blank piece of paper, I'm looking at this blank screen, and I really can't envision more than my to-do list, right? So you want them to kind of look outside of that, kind of spend this some time with you and go a little deeper into, and that's where the self-care plays into this so well, the mindfulness, which might not be there if you're trying to just say, oh, gee, what do I have to do for the next 6 months? Or what do I have to do? And I'm delighted to know that if somebody can't make this June date on the 21st, that they can kind of look forward to the October, January ones as well. So
Yeah,
one of the things you're
thanks.
offering is the $10 off for this particular one in June if people get in there and do it by the offer expires the 16th. Is that right?
June 16th. It
Yeah.
is, yeah, it's a $10 off promo code, and you
Okay.
can use it there are three different options that you have, and I'll
Mhm.
just tell people what they
Yes.
are really quickly. And you can go to this page here, jagmedia.net/workshops.
Hmm.
You'll see these three options that are here, and you can simply just click reserve your spot, pay for it, and put the promo code in the shopping cart. So the first one is simply attending the workshop.
Hmm.
The second one is VIP, and that's where you get a recording of the workshop so you can do it again on your own time, which is really powerful. You also get a 30-minute vision focus call with me that we will schedule. And then the third option is what I call the super VIP option. And this is where you're really digging into what I call self-care for your soul. It's besides the workshop, the recording, and the vision focus call, there is a 4-week course after it. It's a small group of people that help each other to, like what you talk about, motivate each other and support
Hmm.
each other. And it's something that I'll be leading and just helping people along with achieving their vision, because it really does help being in a group instead of, like you mentioned, when you're off by
Hmm.
yourself, it's not always as motivating. So the super VIP experience gives that extra level of support and helps to accelerate your achievements. So that's what those are about. And thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Well, I like that you're sharing the experience. You're meeting some people that are on the same path you are. And so that kind of energy kind of helps you along on your way to kind of get where you want to go next. Is there anything else you want to share as you think about the topic and what people might like to know about it?
Sure, sure. I mean, when it comes down to it, creating your vision or dreams is really self-care for your soul. It goes way beyond the life and business aspects. And I think that's really the heart of it all. So that's what I'd like to share with people. And when you come to this page too, you can also see my video here about flourishing and prospering with your vision board. It's only 2 minutes, so it's a lot of
Wonderful.
information that's
That's
in there, as well as 3 different ways how to create your vision board, which I just mentioned. So that gives you some information there. And when it comes down to it, you'll feel like you've been on a retreat or a vacation, and this is in only 90 minutes. If you take part in this process, it is very transformative.
wonderful.
And I've seen so many people, they are happy, they are smiling, some even cry tears of joy after the experience. So because
Right.
we take time at the end to share about our vision board experience. Again, it's an optional. Most people want to share because they're like, wow, I can't believe this. I uncovered new things or discovered things that I didn't even know that I wanted. So that's really, an important part of it too, is discovering and uncovering those hidden dreams, visions,
Right.
goals for your next chapter.
And I think that's something that, we all can feel that frustration when we're not focused. So it's really helpful. One last thing before we go in there, I'm going to add in the show notes how to sign up for the workshop and how to get your promo code for it. We I talk about using other people's platforms a lot, and this has been my year for talking about that. And Janet, you've been such a delightful person to know, and you and I have one of my 30 tips that I suggest that people use to leverage someone else's platform. We have each shared a post for the other one on our sites, and I think that's a wonderful way for people to kind of meet when you meet somebody where you have a synergy and you enjoy some of the same topics, and you can share what you're interested in with your other audiences. I just think it's a neat thing, and I'm so glad we've been able to have this relationship. I look forward to the next step in what we might do together. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, Jan. I really appreciate being a
Yeah,
guest on your show here, and it's been great getting to know you as well.
likewise. Well, we'll talk soon. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Take care.